Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, The Sinner, this new TV show on USA starring Jessica Biel and Bill Pullman, is actually based off a novel of the same name. So, knowing that, please do not put in the comment section anything that would spoil us. I want to review this and look at this show as someone who hasn't read the book, and I'm going to keep it that way because I want to just try to delve into what could be happening with theories and mysteries. So, let's try not to spoil each other and just enjoy the show for what it is. Now, I really like how this show started going right into the whole mystery of it. It didn't do a whole episode based just on Cora's existence and what her whole life's about. It showed us a little backstory in the beginning with her husband Mason. Basically, they're in a weird situation where they are on the same property as Mason's parents, and the grandmother watches Cora's kid, and Mason has a huge case of mommy syndrome, and he's total mama's boy, and obviously causes a strain in the relationship, which is going to be important down the line, I feel. So there's got to be a reason they were showing us that. And then we go right to where they take their kid to the beach, and I love the shots in this episode all at the beach because I love it's just like an upstate New York vibe of a lake you're swimming at with a bunch of kids going around and the ropes out. Growing up in upstate New York, I know what it's like, so I had a little connection to this. I love the vibe of the show, of the setting of it, and seeing Jessica Biel bring her A game in this is a relief because she's been kind of off the scene for a while and she's not mailing it in. Like, this is full on trying to get an award performance for her. I was really impressed by her acting in this episode, especially the scene when she's swimming out and when she stabs a guy to death in the neck repeatedly. And that whole sequence of events was kind of crazy because it just happens where the music's pumping up, the girlfriend and boyfriend are making out, she gets really angry and kills the guy and then asks the girl if she's okay. So it's something that goes by you really fast, but there's a lot of parts to it, and I love how the show's slowly revealing those little parts and those baby steps. Just like the detective who's trying to break it all down and say, like, this isn't so cut dry like she's saying where she just killed the guy and she didn't know him. There's obviously other layers to this. And it really was revealed where he goes and talks to a witness. And when he talks to the witness, the detective, I thought that was really cool because then it showed you, wait, there really is more to this where he sees his friend getting stabbed, but he doesn't try to help him. And the guy who's getting stabbed sees Jessica Biel, Cora, and realizes he must know her because he lets her kill him. So there's this whole thing we don't know about. So it does add a really good mystery part to the show to keep us invested in the hook. And I think the most important part of all this is them going back to when Cora was a kid. And I love flashbacks like that in shows where it goes way back to their childhood, because it shows how important our childhood memories are on our adult life and how it forms our psychology. But Cora having those very religious parents really starts to make this now, okay, now we know where this is going. And this, to me, is going to be the most important factor to why she killed this man. Because it also reveals to us that Cora's younger sister is all, like, deformed and stuff. And the mother is so brutal and awful to Cora, saying, like, it's her fault that she's even deformed, or that they didn't think they'd have another kid because she just wasted so much time in her mom's belly. And it's a terrible thing to say to someone when they're younger. And if you watch Game of Thrones, it reminds me of the story with Tyrion where everyone's blaming him for the mom's death because he was such a difficult baby coming out. So it's just that blaming a baby who has no control over any of that situation. Don't like it. I feel bad for Cora for sure. It makes you more sympathetic of her, but it's going to be interesting to see where that leads. My theory right now is that it has to relate to that younger sister some way or another. Something that happens because she says, Cora, in the jail cell, that both her parents are dead, and something went down that they're both dead. Not just one of them, both of them, and we haven't seen her sister, if she's even alive. So that's going to be a big factor to this, because we didn't see half of this big traumatic experience she has as a kid. We don't know where the other players are. So that's going to give us a lot more into Cora's life. I don't know how it's going to directly connect to the murder, but there's got to be, I feel like maybe someone on that beach knew Cora when she was younger and knew something she did that they might have done to her and felt bad about, and that's why she might have killed the guy. Who knows? But that's what makes this so exciting. You know, all these theories. I think this show is going to keep us invested. It had me on the edge of my seat for most of it. Some parts feel a little slow, and it's hard to get over that's a USA show. Mr. Robot on USA kind of broke the mold for having respect for good TV finally, but it's still not totally in that field yet. So just seeing the USA logo can be frustrating, and that's my bias, where I'm like, oh no, how can I take this seriously? It's on USA. But So far, so good. I like it. Look, if it was on USA and it was just showing on Showtime, I wouldn't have thought 2 seconds of it being corny or not good acting. It had solid acting all around. Amazing shots. Really good mystery. And I'm excited to see what Jessica Biel brings to the table here and where this goes. I hope it can keep us hooked. The ending was great. It was a great cliffhanger of like, is she going to plead guilty or not? And is she guilty? So it reminds me a lot of The Night Of and Bloodline mixed together in a sense. Because it shows us in the beginning this murder. Now we're finding out about it. And it reminds me of The Night Of because it's someone on the other party defending themselves, and things are slowly being revealed, and there's a detective, big detective involved with this, trying to get the right answer. So that always makes for a good story. I hope it can stand out, though, because this is a crowded field right now, murder mystery, but I think it may. So I'm excited. I'll be reviewing every episode of The Sinner. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SteveVarley1, and please subscribe. I review it right after the night of the show. And yeah, leave your comments below. I respond to everybody. Give me your theories, what you thought of the episode. And I review Game of Thrones as well, and Preacher, and a bunch of movies. And I do trailer reactions and theories and stuff like that. So please, please subscribe and keep coming back.